So, you've come to see me about the revolution. Why, have I come to see you? No matter. I fear I am dying, but if I had time, I'd commit more revolution. They called us disturbers. Disturbers of the peace. The prosecutor said, "You cannot meet these men along the side of the road, but they must thrust a text of scripture down your throat." It's true. Oh, there was no one finer about it than Brother Elijah Craig. They were not about to license him as a preacher. He was an uneducated man. No, they plucked him from his field. They hauled him before the magistrate. There were no arguments to be made. The only argument was whether to throw him in the dungeon or put him in the square in the public bounds. Ha! They put him in the square. And for 36 hours, minute after minute, he preached. No, that persecution had become far too intolerable for 46 of us rebel preachers. We gathered at the meeting house in Upper Spotsylvania. You should have been there. It was a grand cacophony. We had all our friends, all our neighbors, our family, our enslaved, and we brought all our animals. The children brought their pets. And we preached and prayed. And we sang. And family after family, wagon after wagon. We made our exodus in a traveling church over 4 years into the great temple of New Canaan and the Kentucky. When we passed by General Washington and his captured Hessians, I bid the general adieu. I had been a spy for him in the Revolution. I had an uncle who said of the general, "Well, we shall have a very pretty president indeed, one who has paid back his debts in the time of the war. And crops, though they have been lent to him in specie, well, at least the general repaid his debts. It's not like today. Here we are, 35 years after the Revolution. What do we have? A carnival of roguery. Oh, I am restless for revolution again, this time against banks. These banking houses, they send out their harpies. If the lady would like a fine new dress made of silk or imported fabric, the harpies are there to finance it. And if the gentleman would like to replace his log cabin with a fine mansion house of brick and glass, the harpies are there to finance it. But God forbid, if the gentleman shall have a crop failure or two, or there's trouble on the river, or a problem in New Orleans, the harpies are there to take his home. And now the banks are sending the harpies to the capital in Frankfurt. They want to dismantle the Court of Appeals we had established when I served in the legislature. So when the gentleman loses his home to the harpies, he must go to prison, and his wife and his children, they must fall upon their community like a disease. Oh, God, grant me more time. What we need is a president, a new president, a president of the people, not of the banks. We need Andy Jackson. I must rest if I am to fight again. I admonish my children, and they theirs, and you may watch them. Be of good faith. Educate yourself well. And to protect your liberty, be wary of banks. Adieu.